This is the first time I've ever done anything like this, so let's hope it doesn't suck. Cut to title screen.
Enthusiast Polka by the United States Marine Band.
So today we're going to talk about screen printing. It's a pretty common thing we use. Merchandise companies, if you've worn a t-shirt ever in your life, it's probably been screen printed on some level. It can also be used for like posters and shit like that. Um, Being around the music industry and being a merch person, I deal with screen printing a lot. Um, it's just something that goes along with bands trying to make money, right? They get their merch, they get it screen printed. Um, I get the merch, I try to sell it to fans or whoever swings by the merch table. Uh, and I've always kind of wondered, like, how hard is it to actually screen print? I've been to screen printing shops. Friend here in Chicago, Mike Galati of Modest Merch, great dude. I've seen him do it. Like, I've shown up to the shop while he's working. Seems pretty straightforward. You put it down, you squeegee through, and you get a shirt. Looks cool. So I wanted to try my hand at it and see if I could get some of my own prints made of my own designs. So in order to screen print, you obviously need some supplies, right? I googled for about 5 minutes before I came across this Speedball printing kit. It's pretty cool. They have like 3 different versions of it. I got the most advanced version because I don't fuck around. And whether or not that was a good idea, I don't really know. But that's what I got. It was like 60, 70 bucks. Came with printing and ink and all the shit that I would need to get started, except for shirts. So that's what I got. I'll do the YouTube thing where I say, oh, the link's down below if you want to grab it, because if this is something you want to try, you should be able to get a hold of it. They have it on Amazon, and Blick is where I got mine. So yeah. So the steps for screen printing seem pretty straightforward, right? You have your shirt or whatever you want to print on. You lay it down. You have a screen, and you put your design on the screen, and then you pull the ink through, and then the ink goes through onto the screen. Boom, it's done. It looks very simple. It's not simple at all. I came to find out, and so I'm going to walk us through just kind of the step-by-steps. I followed the guide as best I could, given limited supplies and all that other stuff. But yeah, so we're going to kick into the video portion. I filmed everything that I did, and I'll walk us through what I'm doing and how I did it. The first couple steps were pretty easy. You have to wash the screen, and then you have to like tape around the outside. Use painter's tape for it. That's to protect the screen for the future, and you can make it easier to clean and shit like that. That I did, and that was simple. It took me 20 minutes or whatever to do. The next big thing you had to do is like take this photo emulsion liquid, mix it in with this other liquid, and shake it up, like shake it to shit. I wear gloves for this. I had no idea if it was gonna fuck with my skin or something like that. It didn't say to wear gloves, but I don't know. It seemed kind of cool to wear the black gloves. I felt like a tattoo artist. So I shook the shit out of this stuff, and I think I ended up putting up too much water. It's supposed to be like a yogurt, and yeah, so you can see how I kind of just fucked around and kind of messed it up from the start. So wasn't off to a great start. Yeah, but I tried to rectify it. It said how to rectify if you put too much water in, so I tried to follow that pretty closely. So after you mix this shit up, you have to put it on the screen, right? And this is like light sensitive photo emulsion stuff. And in the video, you'll see the back of my head where I'm repping my Lions hat, go Lions. You kind of just have to spread it all across the screen as you go, and get a full coverage on the screen, because then you have to expose light onto it to get it to work. But you have to let it dry for a very long time in a dark place. So I thought I did well with this, but then I looked at it closer after it dried and realized that I had left some big, like, dots, like penny-sized dots, that weren't going to work very well. But we're doing it. And after you get the photo motion on the screen, you have to take transparencies. So it's like I printed out the images that I wanted to, and for me, I'm not that artistic or anything like that, so I just did my standard block lettering. If anybody who follows my writing or looks at my stuff on my website, themerch.life/shop, link below, you'll see a pretty consistent theme with how I design my shirts. I took those transparencies and I put them on the screen, and because I only had the one screen, I wanted to try to optimize my space a little bit so I could try to print more than one shirt at a time. This was something that it said you could do in a lot of the online posts and in the book itself on how to do it. So you're seeing us put these things on there, and then you have to expose it to the light so that it kind of bakes in there. And you can see there that's Emily helping me, really great artist and a lot better at artistic things than I am, so I asked for her help in this. After it's all baked, you take it back and you wash it off, and you can see we use the shower head, and then I used like a toothbrush and stuff to kind of clean out the little thing. But as you can see, there's like those dots that formed, and I guess that's from where I put too much photo motion on there. I'm not super stoked about it because I know that when I try to push ink through, that's just going to mess it up. So this is where things started to really fall apart for me. But some of them came out really well, and I'm stoked for those ones, and those are going to be the ones that I try to print first. So the wear earplugs design, I didn't want to try to print through that because I know it wasn't going to come out well. The failure design came out good, and outside but still sad also came out pretty well. So I was stoked to try to print on those. So we had our first test printing, where you see us putting painter's tape down to cover up everything that we don't want printed on a shirt. And I just grabbed like a random Loot Crate shirt that I had that had Optimus Prime on it, because whatever, I didn't really care if it got hurt or not. And we had that cool little bendy thing that came with the kit, so that we could press down and do our thing. So the first couple test prints went well. Emily again was there to help do these things, and she was able to get a couple good prints off. So I was feeling pretty good about how we were looking so far. And then came the final version of all of this. I sat out to do it myself. We had done the test runs and it came out well, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to print some shirts. Right, I had some orders come in for some shirts, and I was like, okay, instead of doing what I traditionally do, which is order directly from websites like Threadless and Redbubble and send them direct from the manufacturer, I was going to print it myself. And the idea is that I could make more money printing shirts myself than if I were to get them from the manufacturer and ship them out and stuff like that. And also so I never have to buy bulk from a merch printing place. So here's my attempt at doing it, and to be honest with you guys, I fucked up. I fucked up bad. These did not turn out well at all. I had one come out okay. As you can see, these are terrible, and I can't in any way justify taking somebody's money for these mistakes. So it's rough. So I just went back and did what I traditionally do and sent them direct from the manufacturer. So yeah, that's my first adventure into screen printing. There's a lot of steps, a lot more steps than what I initially thought it was, just to get set up, getting a screen set up. So when a printer is charging you that $25 fee or whatever to set up a screen for the first time, there's a reason behind it. And I never really thought about it before. I kind of just like, oh, whatever, that's, extra money that they can make just for doing it. But setting up a screen is a pain in the ass, and it takes a while. It takes about 4 hours to get that motion stuff put in, and then you have to spend another 10 minutes baking it, and that's only assuming that it's going to come out right. been cleaning it and all that other shit. Screen printing. How hard can it be? I think I'm going to give this one a 7 out of 10. It's not hard enough to warrant flipping up into your waistband, but if I stood up in sweatpants, you'd definitely notice. So that was the first episode of How Hard Can It Be? Thanks for swinging by and checking it out. If you liked it, be sure to subscribe and do whatever people do on YouTube so that they know shit's going to come out. If you want the behind the scenes look at all this video, be sure to subscribe to my Patreon at patreon.com/tour journals. I'll be posting some of my mishaps and shit like that. You can also follow me at Twitter. And that's basically how you're going to get a hold of me. Subscribe to this if you want to. Trying to get more content out as I go. So thanks. Where's the off button?